Hello everybody, welcome back to Steve's Gear. Today we're going to unbox and take a look at the Fenix PD25R. Now this is actually the second time I've done this. The first time I had a little bit of technical difficulties. We're kind of an amateur setup up here, so we have just an iPhone we're recording off, but we had some kind of error and I lost the footage. So we'll take a look at the box. You can pause it and read the specs if you'd like. We'll go over a few of them during the review. We'll open it up. Let's see here. So, what's included in the packaging is we have some instructions. A lot of different languages in there. We have a little pamphlet talking about some other products to carry. A warranty card, where if you do register online, you get an additional 6 months warranty. This one has a 15-day replacement policy and then a 5-year repair. So, if I have a 5-year warranty, you get a few extra O-rings. You get a USB-C charging cable, kind of a little mini holster for the light. So just a Velcro holster, has a little belt loop so you could put it on your belt if you want to, and it comes with a little lanyard, so if you want to put it around your wrist or hook it on things. These things kind of remind me of the old camera ones. I used to hook on the digital cameras and carry them around. Alright, and then we have the light. So we'll take this stuff and we'll kind of set it to the side. Alright, so this is the Fenix PD25R. And this is the style, this is kind of like the size of light that I like. I don't like carrying a huge light every day. I carry a light every day for work, so I like something that's relatively small, doesn't take up too much room. I wear a vest, and a lot of times I will just clip the clip onto my vest, kind of where it zips, so it kind of sits on the outside. I just pull it off quickly if I need it. And also this has the double style clip, so another thing I like to do is put it on the bill of my hat. So I'll use this little inside clip. I'll just clip it right on my hat, so I'll wear it on top of it. So I do like those kind of functions. This one has a tail switch. Tail switch is basically just an on and off button. That's the only thing it's used for. You can't change the modes with it. The modes are changed by this little button here. This one has 5 different modes. We'll kind of go over those in just a second. It is rechargeable, so this one has the tail cap comes off and it runs off of a 700 milliamp hour 16340 battery. One of the cool things about this light is if, say, this battery fails or you run out of juice and you don't have a cable to recharge it, you can just use a CR123A and it will function just fine. That's where that gasket is on this thing. You can definitely tell there's a little bit of oil on there, but that's what the replaceable gaskets are for. So that screws on there. I kind of give you a look at the LED there. Let you peek in there. Kind of a smaller LED. Those are the little lanyard loop holes, so if you want to put the lanyard in there, you can. To charge it up, it actually has a double thread, so it screws down fairly fast. That's where the USB-C cable goes in, and it also has a gasket here. So this is IP68, so it's waterproof to 2 meters and dust proof. So that's kind of nice. Some of the lights I have are only rated for waterproof, but they're not rated for dustproof. So we'll kind of go over some of the modes. We'll get it started out here on the... So this is eco mode, which is 5 lumens. And on this mode, it will run for 70 hours with a throw of 62 feet. And then you jump up to low mode, which is 30 lumens for a runtime of 60 hours, the 157 foot throw. Medium mode, 150 lumens for 2 hours and 50 minutes with a 351 foot throw. High mode, 350 lumens, 1 hour and 30 minute runtime, 538 feet throw. And then you have the turbo mode, which is 800 lumens with a 44 minute runtime with an 820 foot throw. So it does have the thermal, management, so it will step down, based if it gets hot or not. It also has the strobe mode, which runs off of the 800 mode turbo. So strobe warning, you can access that by holding down the button, and it will, if you hold down this button, it'll access strobe. Like I said, just on and off the tail switch. No mode adjustment as far as that goes. The overall length is 3.62 inches with a diameter of 0.94 inches. So not real long, kind of average diameter. Weighs in at 2.75 ounces, including the battery. So pretty lightweight. I will say this feels pretty light, which is okay with me. I've said it a couple times, but I'm a big dude, and anything extra I can save off weight is okay with me. The glass is supposed to have an anti-reflective coating, which, I don't know, might be good, might not. I'm not sure about that. One thing is it won't tail stand. The little button protrudes over past the points a little bit, so won't sit flat. For me, that's not a big deal. I don't typically ever set the lights like that. I would rather have the tail switch, honestly, over having it tail stand. That's just my personal preference, but that might be a big deal to you. This is supposed to be a premium type hard anodized anti-abrasive finish, so we'll see how the finish holds up. If any of the paint starts to chip or wear off relatively quickly, I mean, it's not going to stay perfect looking forever, so it probably will get a little damage over time. But that's what happens when you use it for work lights. One thing that kind of drew me to these lights is I wish I could give credit to the YouTuber that I was listening to. But YouTube was just playing random videos in the background as I was doing some cleaning, and I heard him talking about this light, and it kind of caught my attention. So I kind of watched it a little bit, and I mean, I love my O-lights. I've only done, I think, one O-light video, but I have a pretty good sized collection of O-lights, and I normally use them quite a bit. So it's a little different for me to get a different brand light. But most of the ones I use for work either have a tail switch, which I like, or they're smaller and lighter. So the ones I use typically have a little bit more of a floody pattern, or they're just not super bright. This one is decent brightness modes. I mean, up to 800 lumens is plenty fine for pretty much what I'm going to use at work. But sometimes I do notice they have a little bit more flood. And one thing that I was kind of interested in is this has so I'm not a pro at like the candela ratings and everything that they mean, but the candela numbers are quite a bit higher on this model versus some of the other models that I have. So I'll kind of give a little bit of a comparison of what I typically use the most for work. So right now, pretty much every day I carry the i5R because I love that tail cap switch, but it's only got 2 modes, and it gets me by for the most part what I need to do. But there are days where I need something more brighter. So when I need to use something more brighter at work, I typically carry the Baton 3 Pro. It jumps up quite a bit in power. So as far as size goes, they're all relatively the same size, kind of close. The Baton 3 Pro and the Fenix are pretty similar in diameter, and then the i5R and the Fenix are pretty similar in length. So overall, they're fairly close to the same. Baton 3 Pro is a little bit longer. But when I was talking about the Candela, so the Baton 3 Pro has a higher overall lumen output. This one has a lumen output of 1500 on the turbo mode, and it has a lumen output of 600 on high mode. So typically I run them on high mode because the 600, I kind of like to have the 600. But this one on the high mode is 350, but it does have that turbo of 800. But the thing is the max candela on the Baton 3 Pro is only 7900. So that's kind of like the intensity of the beam. Like I said, take everything I say with a grain of salt, do your own research on it. But so typically this will reach out a little farther. This one, 7900, actually is better than some of the other, even some of the little bit larger Olights, but definitely bigger than the i5R that I carry. So this one has a little bit farther distance than the other ones. This one has a max distance of 574 feet. So if you think about, when I was talking about the distance for the Fenix, you'll start to see that they were a little bit, a little bit different. So this has a max throw of the 574 feet versus the Fenix, even on high mode for 350 lumens, has a max throw of 538 feet. So you go back to that Candela, and this one has 6550 for the Candela on high mode. But on turbo mode, this thing jumps all the way up to 15,530 Candela at 800 lumens with a throw of 820 feet. So that's where you got to kind of decide, what style light is going to fit what you need it for. So this one technically has more lumens, but the throw isn't quite as far. The Candela is far less. So it's going to have a little bit more of that flooded beam, more broader type beam. This one's going to have that more defined hot spot in the middle with kind of like the a little bit lighter, less light around the edges. So it'll be interesting to kind of compare the two of them. And I think I'll post this up on Sunday. And for this week, I will be working nights most of the week, doing some inspections at night. So I'll bring this with me and I'll be able to kind of test it out to see how it differs from using the Baton 3 Pro. And obviously I can kind of, this one I almost have memorized. I've used this one so long that I can already picture in my head what this one looks like when I have it running. So it'll be interesting to see how this one compares. I like the size. I like the weight. The function seems pretty easy for me. I think it'll be easy to get used to. Nothing too complicated. If you want, the clip does remove. We'll kind of use that. I'll show you what it looks like in that holster. I don't think it's something that I will probably use ever, but if you wanted to, you could put it on your belt. Like I said, it is super lightweight. You probably would never know it's there. I don't know how it would hold up. Probably hold up for a while, but. And then obviously the lanyard's an option if that was something you're interested in. For me personally, I'll be using the clip. Like I said, I use the clip quite a bit, so I'll like to use the clip. But yeah, if you have a Fenix light, let me know how you like it. What style you use. If you have this one, I'd be interested to hear how you like it. I'm new to Fenix. I have this light. I'll have a video coming up in a little bit of one of their pens that I have. And then I've had one of their keychain lights for several years. And that's all I have. So we'll test it out, see how it works. I'll do a brief update video maybe next weekend. So if you're interested in seeing that, feel free to subscribe. Other than that, I hope you have a good day. Thanks for watching.